All right, welcome back to our next thing. We're going to create the middle pieces through here. Now, each middle piece is similar to the outside ones, but a little bit different. So what we're going to do first is do a rectangular pattern tool to create the first one just inside, modify it, and then use a rectangular pattern tool to make all the rest of them. So let's get to it. First thing I'm going to do is come up here to the, what am I doing? Modify, nope, create, sorry, pattern, rectangular pattern. And I'm going to start with the one on the right. And I'm going to click on, make sure it says bodies here and not faces or features or components. We want bodies, click on this body. And then the direction I want to go, I'm going to click on the direction I want to go, and I'm going to choose this red line. If I need to zoom in some. I'm going to choose this red one because I want to copy, I want to move it down this direction. Notice it thinks I want to go right. So I need to go in this direction. So you can see how it's making copies now. But I need to be a very specific distance. Make sure this says spacing and not extent. And I'm going to come down here and I want to move over an entire width of my opening plus an extra thickness. So down here I'm going to type in width, enter. Oh, it went the wrong direction, so I have to remind myself, yep. So if I want to go left instead of right, I got to go negative. That's all negative means is the other direction. And then I'm going to do plus thickness because I want a little bit extra movement and hit enter. But oh, it moved to the right. I want it to get wider, not less wide. So I got to remember, okay, because I'm going left, I want to make everything negative, not just the width. And I don't need 3 of these. I just want 1 of them. So I'm going to click down to 2. So it always counts the first one you already have as 1, and then this one is the second one. So that's what I want right there. Okay. So now I've been able to create the first of the inside pieces. Now it's a little different because notice how the back piece is going to slide into those slots in the side piece. Well, I can't slide into slots halfway into the wood. So I need to modify this so that this one has tabs just sticking through the back. And it's super easy to modify. So let's get to it. Yep. So to do that, I'm going to hide everything except this new R side. Let's rename this as vertical 1. So this is the first, or maybe vertical, yeah, let's just call it vertical. Just call it vertical. It's the vertical supports that go in the middle. So I'm going to hit enter. So we have that one named. And now we're going to need to cut in tabs in the back. Boop. So the tabs that we're going to cut are going to be the same way we did before. We're going to take a rectangle on the back side. We're just going to do the thickness now. It's going to be thickness times 2 because we inset the back a little bit. And I'll show you what that means in a second. And then the other side, I think we worked with 1.75 was a good amount. Okay. And now the exact number there doesn't matter. It's just aesthetic. Click there to center it. So I centered this up. And now I'm going to do my rectangular pattern tool. So create rectangular pattern. 3 things you want to select. 1, 2, and 3 things I want to select. The direction I don't need to put because I'm going to grab it and drag it. And I'm going to drag it just a little bit beyond the top edge. So just like I did before, that's inside, that's outside. What I don't want is this where it leaves a little sliver of wood. That's going to be a nuisance later. So I want just a little bit beyond. And I'm going to zoom back out. I'm going to figure out, okay, I'm working with these bottom 3 because that's the number that's changing. I'm going to say symmetric here. Yep, perfect. And I'm going to increase the number until I get a decent quantity in there. Oh, but that's the wrong number. So I'm going to increase this number. And I got to use an odd number. And that looks pretty good. That looks pretty even between this and this. I like that. I'm going to say okay. Now I don't need to do those on the other side because this is the front of the cabinet. I don't want tabs cut into the front. There's one on the back. I'm going to also want them cut into the top as well. So I'm going to do that right now. So I'm going to come here and I'm going to grab a square or rectangle tool. I'm going to draw a rectangle in this top corner and it's going to be, I don't know, maybe it's going to be 0.5. I'm going to hit tab and this has got to be thickness, enter. And I'm okay with that for now. And then I'm going to grab another one. Let me think about how I want this to look. Yep, that's the cutout. And I'm going to grab another one and put it in. No, I'm not going to grab another one. I'm going to do a rectangular pattern tool here. So create a rectangular pattern, and those 3 lines, I'm going to zoom in so I can see my arrow. There we go. Pull those 3 lines out. Drag them just clean of that, which is pretty good. I can live with that, and click. Now let me zoom in. I'm going to get a little closer. So when it's jumping by a bunch, just zoom in, and you can like adjust it by smaller amounts using the arrow. And then I'm going to say okay to that, but that looks like that's way bigger than that. So I'm actually going to come in here and do like a 0.75. Oh, but you know what that did? That just kicked it out that way, which is I'm kind of okay with. So here's what I want to do. I wanted to do this exact same thing across the bottom, and maybe, I don't know, it's a little low, a little small to me still, 0.8. I like that better. So play around with the numbers, get whatever you want, however you want to do it's fine. But I want to do the exact same thing along the bottom, and I need those numbers to do that with. So I'm going to click here. This is my rectangular pattern tool. If I double click it, it opens that box back up, and I can change stuff. I don't want to change anything, but I want to write down those numbers. So I had a quantity of 3, and I had a distance here of 3.55. And then my width of my rectangle was 0.8, and the height was thickness. So I'm going to go repeat those numbers down below. So I've got them written down so I can do it. So I'm going to click OK, and then down below here, I'm going to start from this front corner like I did before. I'm going to draw here, this was supposed to be a 0.8. Tab, thickness, use whatever numbers you got. Unless you're making a motor thing for me, then use my numbers. And then I'm going to do a rectangular pattern tool. And I'm going to click on all 3 of these. And now I can just type these numbers in. So right here, I want 3 of them. And I want, what was that number? 3.55. So 3.55. And okay. So now I've got the exact same thing top and bottom. Now I can cut this. So I'm going to use E for extrude. Yeah, that's what I want to have happen. I'm going to cut this one, this one, this one, this one, and all of these other ones. So all of these are getting cut away. Zoom in here, make sure I get that. Yep, got that whole corner. And they're just like that. And now I'm going to do a negative thickness because that should bring me through the thing. I'm going to tip it to a home view. Yep, I'm cutting all those tabs out. I'm going to say, okay, just perfect. Now I'm going to turn back on the right side and the back side. And you can see why I made this too thick. If I go back over here, or 2 thicknesses, this sticks through the back a little bit, but it lines up with how far it sticks through the back on this side. So you can see like this edge will line up with that edge. So when you put it against a wall or something, they'll all support each other, or you put it on a table, these will support. The other nice thing is when we stick this in here, we can actually run hot glue along the bottom, the back of this joint, and we don't have to glue the inside and make an inside ugly edge on the inside of our display case. We can put all the ugly glue across the back and have it hidden. So that's the other reason we did it that way. And it's stronger. Okay, so that one's done. Let me turn the left side back on as well. Now we just need to create a rectangular pattern and copy those out to the side. So to do that, I'm going to come over here to the create pattern, rectangular pattern. I'm going to click on this one. And then I'm going to click, make sure it says bodies. I'm going to click the direction. And again, I want to go in this red direction right here. And I'm going to drag out. Now, I got to figure out how many I need. So I'm doing 6 openings, which means I need 7 pieces of plywood to cover 6 openings. But I've already gotten 2 of them done. I've got the left and the right side done. So instead of needing 7, I need 5. So if you're making a custom cabinet, just think through, you need 2 pieces less than the number of openings. So you have 9 openings, you need 8 inside pieces, plus the 2 outside would be 10. That'll work. So for me, I need 5 openings. Oh, sorry, 5 pieces. Now, right now it's all crazy looking because I have the spacing wrong. Make sure this says spacing. And then inside the distance, what you're going to type in is the width. Sorry, width. Oh, but I have to go left instead of right, so negative width. And now I'm going to remember on thickness because I need to add a thickness in as well, but I want to go left of thickness. So, in fact, let me show you something real quick, front view. You can see how this side here is a little bit wider than these other ones, and that's because I haven't added that extra little thickness in. So minus thickness. Enter, and you can see how now they look, ooh, well, they look really right on now. Enter, and they're all placed. Let's take a look. So just that fast, a few seconds, and we've made all those pieces identical to the first one. And now they're all ready to go. Okay, so what we need to do now is, oh, we forgot to cut the tabs on this side. So I'm going to show you a trick for getting the tabs cut in from over here. We'll transfer these tabs to the outside faces, and it's super easy to do. I'll show you what that's like. Well, let's do that now. So I'm going to create a sketch on the thing that I want to cut, which is this outside face. So I'm going to cut the tabs into here. Now I could do all the math and type the numbers in, but even easier, I can tip it over a little bit, and I can use what's called the project tool. So you can go here for create, project include, and click project, or this P tells you keyboard P will work as well. So if I just click P, I get it as well. So I want to match this geometry onto here. I want to just have it copy over to here. So all I'm going to do is click on this one, and it's going to draw that shape onto my sketch plane, which is on this one. So I just drew something that's not on my sketch onto my sketch, and I'm going to say, okay. Now when I come back here, I can quickly hit extrude, and I can say we need to cut. Well, let me turn off the other ones first. It's dangerous to, I want just the right side on. It's dangerous to extrude with other things on because you extrude through them, it messes them up too. And now this one, and this one, and I can do negative thickness, and it just cut all the way through. So now we can see we have those tabs cut in place now. And let's take a look at this other side. I'm going to turn everything back on, start organizing some things here. And yeah, that looks pretty good. I don't really like this edge here, but I think I'm just going to live with it. Oh no, I need to go back. I extruded wrong. That's why it looks weird. So edit feature. I need to come back here, and I also need to, oh, this wasn't a very good way of doing it actually. Because what I really want to do is have another little block cut out right here. We're missing this little cutout. In this case, the projection wasn't a lot easier. So my right side I want back on. So what I am going to do is I'm going to add to my sketch. So I'm editing my sketch right. No, I'm not. Oh, I don't want to do this. This is getting too hard. Okay. So I'm going to cancel the extrusion because I don't have anything to select. I need to edit my sketch first. So I'm going to come back here. This is the sketch I want to edit. It's the one I just made. I'm going to right click on it and do edit sketch. Sorry, I should have seen this coming. I'm going to take a line and I want to cut this line right across here, but I need to line it up with this line. So I'm going to use what's called the collinear tool. So collinear means take two lines that aren't lined up and line them up parallel each other. So here I'm going to say I want to line up this line with that line. Okay, that line with that line. Something happened to constrain this line. Hang on a second. Exit. No, it should work just fine. Let me try that one more time. So I'm going to use my collinear tool and say line up this one with this one. It does not like that. Sketch geometry is over constrained. So I think it's trying to move that one to be parallel with it. Ooh. All right, so let's try a different approach. I'm going to Control Z till I lose that line that I drew. Then I'm going to do it. I actually want that line straight across here, so this will work as well. It's just going to be a little more clicking than what I wanted. So I'm just going to overshoot that line. It's not a problem to do that. And then I'm going to do the extrude command. Oh, so finish sketch. And then I'm going to go back and edit this extrusion. And now I can click on that little thing. And I'm going to say, oh, I need to hide everything, or I'll be cutting whatever is there as well. So just the right side should be on. And I'm going to say OK. And now that looks good. The only problem is that I needed to repeat that whole process for the bottom side as well. So I should have done that before, but I forgot. So now I just need to go back to this sketch, and I need to go Edit Sketch. I'm going to put in a new construction, a new line right across the bottom, a little longer than I need is okay. Hit Escape. Click Finish Sketch, and I need to come back here and edit this extrusion again. And then I need to click on this one, I'm going to edit that one as well, and then click OK. And now I've cut it to where it looks good. Like that's what I want it to look like. Now to get this to the other one, here's a simple way of doing it. We're going to turn on the left side, and we're going to do a quick projection. Oh, we're going to actually create a sketch first of this one. We're going to tip it back so we can see what's going on. We're going to do a projection. So I want to draw on this one. I want to project this face onto it. You can see that it's already drawn it on there for me. So I'm going to click there and I'm going to say OK. Now I'm going to hide the right side. So all I have left is the left side. And I'm going to take a view of it on the right. So I want to look right at it. And now I want to extrude all three of these pieces. And this time it's going to work as one extrusion from the projection. And then I'm going to say negative thickness for the depth. I'm going to flip it over, make sure it's going, yep, it's cutting just the right way, and click OK. And now that one's done as well. So that took a long time to get those two done. So they should look the same, and they do. And had I done that before I copied it, it would have been done automatically. We should have done that work to start with. I just forgot. Okay, so back. Vertical supports are all there. Okay, and now let's organize some stuff because we're going to make a lot more. So bodies, new group. I'm going to double click on this one and call this one vertical. And I'm going to put all the right side, the left side, I'm going to put here. Shift, click on the last of the verticals, and then drag them and drop them into the vertical folder. Now I can quickly hide the verticals whenever I want to. That's why we make folders, to make that easier. Now we're going to create one across the top, and then we're going to do the same process down. So we're going to copy the top and move it to the other side, and then we're going to make middle ones as well. Okay, so to do that, there's two approaches. We can model it from this top surface and draw a big rectangle out for the whole side. I think that's going to be the harder way of doing it, although maybe not. Or we can start on this face and we can extrude it straight across, like a thin strip extruded across. Either way, it's just like, what do you prefer to do? I think in this case, yeah, I'm going to extrude the rectangle from the top actually. And what I want to do is I want to extrude it from this back corner to that front corner way up there. So I'm going to create my sketch on this little piece here. That's going to place this corner. So you can see I can click on that corner and be able to use it. But it only drew like that one little rectangle in there. So what I'm going to do is come over here and I'm going to draw in, oh no, maybe I can grab that one too. Let's try it. Let's see if I can click to it. So I'm going to grab a rectangle tool. I'm going to start in this top corner and I'm going to drag all the way across my top and see if I can come down to this bottom. I'm not sure. Let's see. Yeah, so it didn't actually grab onto this piece. It grabbed onto the rectangle, like the grid. So that's easy to fix though. See how it's all blue? It means it can get moved around. I'm going to grab my collinear tool and I'm going to say, hey, I want this big side to be lined up with this little side. Oh, maybe I can't. Oh, no. Escape. I can't do that yet because this rectangle right here isn't on my sketch. So first I need to do P for project, click on it, and then click OK. And now I have, actually, let me Control Z that. Project, I'm actually going to just project this outside corner. If I do this whole thing, it's going to cut my sketch into little pieces. I just really, all I want is this outside corner, right? And I'm going to say, okay. And now I'm going to do my coincidence tool, which means line the two things I touch, line them up with each other. So click coincidence. I'm going to click on this outside one, and I'm going to click and hold to get the other sketch point. So that's that one. And now it locks it in place. So you can see these two lines turn black. That's our goal, is to get those two lines to turn black. All right, now we're going to extrude. And we're going to extrude this and this little piece here. So now we've got that extrusion ready to go. We need to figure out which way to go now. This is going to be really important to go the right direction. Right now we are at the, I can't tell where we are, to the right. Yeah, so we need to extrude up, just like it says. So we need to extrude up one thickness, and that goes up to there. But instead of cutting, we want to create a new body. So you just got to move it around so you can make sure you're going in the right direction, and then click OK. When we're done here, it should look just like this, where the tabs are right through the wood, but not anymore, not any extra. Okay, so I think that one's good. We don't need to cut any tabs in this one because the tabs were cut in all the other sides. So now we just need to move and copy this one down to the bottom. I'm going to hit M for move copy. I'm going to click in the middle here. And then I'm going to drag it straight down, because that's the direction we're going now, to close but not quite there yet. Okay. And now, oh, I did it again. Control Z. I needed to do a M for move copy. Click in the middle and then choose create copy and then drag down. Otherwise, I'm just moving and not copying, and click OK. I'm going to look at my model from the bottom corner now, zoom in here in the corner, and I'm going to say align this face out here in the gray with this face, but not on one of the dots. I want to be out in like the gray spot. I'm going to do it over here so I can see better. So I just want to align it with that, and it just brings it right down in place. Okay. So make sure the fronts and everything are lined up just right, and they are. They look great. Go back to the home view. Now we have the top and bottom done. One thing to note here, though, is we haven't cut any of the holes. Right now, nothing will fit together. We'll do all that at the very end so we don't not do part of it. So that's it for this video. In the next video, we'll add in all the vertical, the middle supports, and then all we have to do is break it down flat, get cut lines, head to the laser. We are almost there. Hang in there. All right.